Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in, and you are listening to For the Fan. I am Will, and we got Jake, Dom, and Colton here. Gentlemen, how are we?
We are good.
Oh, man. It was nice hanging out with the boys at beat-ups on Sunday. That was nice.
Yes.
I was like, man, if I had a lot of motivation, I was going to make an Always Sunny intro, and it's just going to be the gang goes to the bar.
That's hilarious.
But I was like, dude, it took me 3 days to just recover, man. Getting old sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what happens when you're at the bar at 12, 12 o'clock.
Oh, here we go. Just call me out. Call me out. Here,
I mean, hey, man, it's not getting old. It's called sitting at the bar since 12 o'clock. It's kind of what it is.
Oh, here we go. Just call me out. I just wanted to watch my Terrapins play. And you know what? Jameer Young choked the game away because, he just fumbled the ball in our zone. With 2 seconds left, all we need is just one.
All right. Stop it. No one cares about the Maryland Terrapins. You don't hear me crying about Michigan hoops.
Your team won. Your team won. Okay, like your team won here. I'll hear. Colton, I read your thoughts here. I did it for you. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? But yes, conference championship weekend's on its way. 4 days away till all the action happens. Taylor Swift and whatever that big Ravens guy is. That big guy, I forgot what his name is. But, hey, we got celebrities all over, celebrities everywhere. The Lions' first conference championship appearance in almost 70 years. It's been a very long time, and we're going to be dissecting it. Hey, any final thoughts? Want me to just kick in the intro here? Just start it up?
Send it.
You are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
And here we are, another Wednesday, episode number 120 of For the Fan. Yes, let's talk about this right now. We're going to just dissect what we've been doing the last 2 weeks, head coaching openings. But let's talk about some coordinator positions that have just opened up within the last 24 hours. Well, not even 24 hours, the last 7 hours, essentially. Joe Barry, the Packers defensive coordinator, is not returning after 3 seasons with the Pack. He is gone. He is out. Packer fans are relieved. They've been praying for this day for a very long time. And also Vic Fangio for the Dolphins. Ousted, kicked to the curb. Javon Holland posted a video of him on Instagram kicking rocks, literally kicking rocks.
No way.
Yes. I saw it. I was like, this is impressive. If you want me to find a video, I'll find a video for you.
I'm going to find it right now. On Instagram, you say?
On Instagram, on his Instagram story. I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it was his Instagram story. It was a video of him just kicking rocks.
Okay.
That's what he did. And also, as we know, last week, the Eagles cleared out their coordinator position. So Vic Fangio's an odds-on favorite to land the defensive coordinator job.
Because he was supposed to be this year. He would have been our defensive coordinator if, Murr over there actually informed the team that he was going to, interview.
I hate
you. See, I said, oh, look, it's Murr. No one wanted to believe me. Jake said it. So, hey. My wish comes true. Someone believed me for once. But yeah, head coaching positions. The Raiders made the correct choice. I mean, I'm surprised. Are you guys surprised that the Raiders actually made a logical decision here in picking their next head coach?
The fact that you just had to say logical decision. Yes. Any logical decision. Not just this one.
Yeah, they made the logical decision. They made Antonio Pierce the actual head coach. They eliminated interim. They made him the head coach. And also the Titans hired their new guy, and Brian Callahan, the former Bengals offensive coordinator who was there for the end of the Dalton era, beginning of the Burrow era, and also the emergence of Jake Browning. So they get their guy. They made a couple of other moves, including Ron Carthon, moving up in the front office view. They gave him a new job title, but he still holds the GM position. So
the Raiders also signed Telesco, no?
Yes, the Raiders did sign Telesco, so now they got their GM and coach for the future.
There was no way.
The Raiders.
There was zero way that they were not hiring Antonio Pierce.
No. There was a way. There is a way.
No. I'm telling you that locker room would blow up, and you would have your major stars demanding trades. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who they hired, they were going to demand trades. Max Crosby would have demanded a trade. Devontae Adams would have demanded a trade. There was no way. Like, this was no way. Like, I gave this one like a 2% chance of botch here by the Raiders. I know we trust me. We've seen them do it before. There was no way. Like, the players, all the reports coming out were they were going to flip and like demand trades if this did not go through. So there was no way. It was like a 2% chance that this was getting botched. I know it's the inside joke with the Raiders.
For that.
But it's the Raider way.
I know it's the Raider way. Trust me. There was a 2% chance this was getting botched.
Rich Bisaccia. I won up you with
I
Josh
know.
McDaniels.
I trust me. Been there, done that. I'm aware. But you did not hear players bitching and moaning and demanding trades if he was getting fired. That's all I'm saying. Or if he did not get hired as the head coach. There was talks. If they did not hire Antonio Pierce, these guys were demanding trades. So there was no way they were botching this. Like, it was pretty much known what they were doing. And if they did, then they have a whole lot of mess to deal with. So good luck with that.
And speaking of Tom Telesco, the former Chargers GM, the Chargers had their second interview with Harbaugh yesterday. He's still currently in LA. I think they're going to try locking him in an office of some sort so they can work out a deal. Because apparently they are within striking distance.
I also saw today that there was, for some reason, a tension with Pete Carroll and the Chargers. I don't know what that was about. I don't know.
Pete Carroll's going to come in and take Harbaugh's job. I mean, it'd be a very
it'd be great. Go for it, man. You guys to stay in Michigan. Go for it.
There's a little bit of momentum with Vrabel and the Chargers. I really don't know how.
Man, I'm totally fine with all of it. Anyone but Harbaugh, I'm totally fine with. Come back to Michigan.
Yeah.
So with that, they're going to be, interviewing Vrabel again this week in person. They're going to be doing a couple of other interviews.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Wow.
Harbaugh is expected to go to Atlanta tomorrow for an in-person interview with the Falcons.
Yeah.
The second one. This one's in person, I believe. Belichick already had 2 in-person interviews and some other meetings of some sorts with there. Isn't it weird that Belichick is only getting the attention of the Falcons and no other team? No other team's trying to like lobby for to try to talk to him.
I don't think it's like that. I think it's all right. I'm not trying to say this in a weird, conceited way or whatever, but I think it's more of Belichick interviewing them than it is them interviewing Belichick. I think he's really seeing where he wants to go, not like them making like hard decision that, are we going to sign, I
think, Belichick's handpicking where he even wants to consider.
And I think that's all it is so far is Atlanta.
See, I thought, listening to the fan today after work, I actually thought Tiki and those guys, Evan and Tiki, did a really good job. And we're pretty much talking is like, how is a guy like Belichick? You want to say he's the GOAT. He's top 2 either way. You want to say he's the GOAT. If not, he's a top 2 coach of all time. The fact that he is pretty much getting the Falcons and that is it, it kind of makes me think that he's probably going to end up going there is what is what Tiki Barber thinks, is what he thinks. He's going to end up going there. But the fact that there's no deal yet is that the Falcons are probably pushing back on giving him total control. Yeah, and the other point is why they think Atlanta's probably the team. He probably wants to be on the East Coast. That's what they're thinking. The fact that there's really nothing going with the Chargers, really, and it seems like they're going Harbaugh, which I think is the better thing to do anyway, long term. But he might want to just be on the East Coast for some reason. He might just feel comfortable here. I don't know. It's weird, but it's probably the second most attractive job if you think about it outside the Chargers. I never thought I would say that, but like if they get a quarterback with their pick here, they're in it. They got legit weapons at every position. As much as we didn't see Bijan Robinson, but the next head coach is I got a fresh Bijan Robinson because they didn't want to hand him the football. So
well, even besides drafting a quarterback, there was all the reports that if Belichick does go there, that Kirk Cousins, that would be his main looking destination.
And then, if I'm Kirk, I'm doing the same thing. I get to go work with, again, a top 2 coach. And I have Drake London. I have
probably one of the best offenses on paper.
Bijan Robinson. Like, you have legit weapons, and their defense isn't bad. They probably win the South as much as I thought this was going to be the Saints division for the next 5 years. And hey, they just proved me completely wrong this year. That was my biggest whiff of the season was the Saints. So I would love to see Kirk Cousins in the ATL with Belichick. That'd be must-watch television, and they're going to win the South, like, easily.
Belichick's going to make that defense probably a top 10 defense.
Well, I mean, the defense before that Saints game the last week was a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
They were in the top 10 for everything. And then, the Saints put up almost 50 on them. And then that kind of just ruined every rating they had.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. I do think, though, like you're still saying basically, Colton, that it is still kind of Belichick's preferences, not Atlanta's preferences. Like it's him really picking what he wants to do, I feel like, more than what Atlanta wants to do.
Didn't Atlanta just interview Vrabel again today? Right? Did they not?
I think at some point this week they may have.
Yeah.
I know he's on the radar because, it's not like he's a pushover.
Why would he not be,
Yeah.
I know there was some reports that early on, before the second interview with Belichick, that there was some thought that he was waiting for a decision on Sirianni.
Yeah, Vrabel today.
Yeah, he met with the Falcons today, Vrabel.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
He's flying to Carolina tonight to meet with the Panthers. That's per Jeff Darlington. So
no way.
Terrible decision. No one should take that job.
I agree, but if the Panthers want someone, it should be Vrabel.
But if it's Vrabel, then that's the person who would actually fix it.
I feel like the only chance they have.
Yeah. Again, I didn't want to misquote the guys. I thought they said it today on air too, that Vrabel met with the Falcons. That's where you guys knowing corroborated that. I was like, all right, let me look it up myself, see if it's there. So yeah, I appreciate the Falcons doing their work. Like, I think they're realizing they're probably behind the Chargers. They're the next up on the pecking order as far as attractive jobs. I know Seattle's there, but I don't love the quarterback situation, and you're kind of tied to Geno. Where
no, they can just cut Geno after this year. They don't owe him any money now.
Really? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so his contract was just 1 year, but to make it quarterback friendly deal, you have to make it over $35 million.
I wasn't sure if it was like Daniel Jones where you had to wait a few years.
No. Daniel Jones made sure to screw over the Giants as willingly as possible there.
Well, that's a Giant saying, like, here's the red carpet for anybody that does remotely half a good year.
And this is why the Giants apparently Giants fans are trying to push for Gabe Davis to get a real number one receiver, even though Gabe Davis is a one-game wonder at best.
No.
He's not.
You mean they're not paying Tommy Cutlets all the money yet? He had a half a year.
Well, I mean, he's still got 3 years left. He doesn't even get that extension opening until after year 3 for rookie deals?
It was the joke.
Have you guys mentioned?
Wait, just step all over it.
Have you guys mentioned Mike Kafka just made his second interview for the Seattle Seahawks head coach job?
I've not seen that one time that he interviewed.
3 hours ago.
I know he's the head coach. He's one of the head coaches for the East-West Shrine game that happens. It's one of the college football things.
They interviewed him for the second time today. I honestly haven't seen a single thing about Seattle's interviews whatsoever, so I don't even know what's going on there. But yeah, they interviewed Mike Kafka for the second time. I don't know what that's about, and I don't know if that's the choice that I would go with. But yeah, the Chargers are interviewing every person ever too. By the way,
they should be doing their research, but I don't understand. You should be trying to do everything, fork up the dough, get Harbaugh. It's really not difficult.
They have to make they're going
everywhere he's gone, he's been a hit. Everywhere Harbaugh's gone, he's a winner. It's really not difficult. I hope the Chargers botch it. I hope Atlanta hires Belichick and Harbaugh goes back to Michigan. It'd be absolutely crazy for the Chargers not to do it, because you see how vulnerable Kansas City is. As stupid as that sounds, they're in the AFC title game. But as stupid as that sounds, like, they were vulnerable this season. Like, they probably should, if the Chargers were slightly better coaching, they probably win the AFC West. So they got to do everything in their power to hire Harbaugh. And the fact that it's not done yet is quite terrifying if you're a Chargers. Like, I get you're having a second interview, blah blah blah. It should have been one and done. That is your guy. Everyone kind of knows that's the guy you need to get, and it's not done yet. It's crazy to me. And he can bring in good staff with him. Like, I don't understand what is going on with the Chargers. If
The
I'm just
Chargers are charging it up.
my marbles here internally, like the fact that this is not done, everyone on planet
It's a Chargers thing to do. Like they can't make the correct
I don't
decision.
understand it here. I don't understand. Like, everyone knows that you have to get it done, fork it up, put the big boy pants on, make the move, and they're just. I don't understand what the second interview. You're going to bring them in third time. What? How many times are you going to interview a guy? It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same song and dance every interview. I don't understand. What are you learning? He's a winner. He's a winner.
Have we met before, Mr. Harbaugh?
What are we doing? Like, I don't understand this.
My name is Mr. Spanos. I own the Chargers. How are you?
This is the group of
17th
people-
interview.
This is a group of people, keep in mind, that hired Brandon Staley from nowhere, like with no resume. So I don't, they were quick on that one too. I remember that. Not to change gears, but I do have in front of me Tom Pelissero reports for Seattle's second interview. There's 5 candidates that interviewed for the second time. That would be, I can't even say this name, Avero.
Oh,
That's
the Panthers.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Patrick Graham, who
was former Giants DC. Was he in Vegas? He was in Vegas.
Yeah, Mike Kafka, like I said, Raheem Morris, and Dan Quinn. All of those got or are getting their second interview from reported by Tom Pelissero. That's reliable. And then they are arranging an interview with Vrabel. So for his first interview. So I guess they are cooking a little bit, and I didn't realize they were, but I don't even know what their situation might be like.
And also with the Commanders too. Apparently, like Ben Johnson might be a lock for that job.
Wow.
The guy that they hired as GM really wants Ben Johnson to go from Detroit to Washington and then, try to fix everything that's been going on with Washington.
Okay.
I mean, that would be a good move. I mean, Aaron Glenn's also getting interviews too. So Detroit could lose. They're going to lose guaranteed one coordinator, or if not both coordinators, depending what happens following Sunday and how long teams really want to wait for a position like that to, their candidate to be open now for approval of jobs.
Also, fun fact, wild thing. Since 2022, every coordinator in the league has been replaced.
If the Steelers didn't do Matt Canada, man, he would still be there.
That is insane, though. Like, that's freaking nuts, bro. 2 years, every single coordinator in the league's been changed around. That's crazy. So, yeah. Or no, sorry.
Offensive coordinators.
Thank you. Offensive. Every single offensive. There you go.
I didn't even catch that. Boom.
I
I would have heard that.
Weird when it came out.
Will didn't even know, but he was still right because
Yeah.
Matt Canada.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a wild fact, bro. That's nuts.
When you guess and still get the answer right.
But that goes to show, like, it's hard to just maintain success. Look at the Eagles. Sorry, Jake. It's hard to maintain success when now success means that person could leave for another job. It's wild. Maintain success is not easy in the NFL now with the stuff like that.
Hopefully, fingers crossed that, these positions get filled in by next week.
Hey, man.
Maybe before the Super Bowl. Who knows?
Hopefully before the Super Bowl. I would hope.
Well, track record on some people show like the day before the Super Bowl and
Yeah.
just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I was just listening to the Canadian national anthem. My bad. I was gonna play it in the mic. You guys were talking about Matt Canada. I'm like, you know what? It's that. And then I'm like, it's gonna sound absolutely horrific. So I'm like, you know what? I was gonna enjoy it. They're not gonna know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna listen to O Canada.
You should have sang it in French.
Yeah, you should have just sang it. It would have been.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but that's did the Chargers hire a GM? Did you say that?
Nah, they've interviewed one of the top NFL people that are in New York, Donna Ponte, for their GM position, which is interesting. One,
Sure.
she was with the Dolphins for a very long time before moving to the league office. So
It's kind of wild.
yeah,
They're taking their time on that too. I mean, you know what? Good for
well, I
them.
mean, I think they don't want to hire Harbaugh yet because they're like, okay, we need a GM that's gonna not 49er him out of San Francisco because, well, obviously this is going to be a very big financial decision where he's going to be, the top paid coach in the league.
That's fair.
I mean, you could
So
also
you want to have someone at least then that has a good connection there, and then they could work out the coaching underneath him and all that stuff. You know, everyone from Michigan's just going to go from Ann Arbor to Los Angeles. First class flight.
Relax. Just Jesse Minter. They're going to hire Sharon Moore. Relax.
JJ McCarthy's going to replace Justin Herbert. I mean, it's perfect. It's the ratings in the wall there.
I hate you.
Any final thoughts though on the coaching carousel?
Since you brought up Jesse Minter, that's who I would love to be the new coordinator.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the Eagles interviewed Cliff Kingsbury, and
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Okay.
Jalen Hurts is going to pass 900 times in a season.
I think the Steelers are doing the same thing.
The coordinator, I don't mind him.
The Steelers-
Head coach, he's terrible.
Sullivan, the quarterback's coach, he's like interviewing for a couple offensive coordinator jobs.
That's right. I think the Raiders he's interviewing with.
I got trolled the other day on Twitter.
Not surprised.
I saw a report about Wes Welker maybe being the OC for the Patriots. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing that. Maybe that's cool. And then I looked it up. I was like, there's not even any traction to it. Whatever, cool. All right. I've been excited for a second.
Where'd you get your source from? Ari Menarov, ML Football, Dov Kleiman? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know what it was.
There's some growing, whatever you want to call it, about Eric Bieniemy in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That OC job might not be bad. Don't believe everything.
I think it's a pretty attractive job. Not gonna lie.
here you go, Dom. Here, you could talk about this whole thing you sent me earlier. Okay, no.
It's on my Instagram story. Allison, have you seen my Instagram story? I just learned today that you know how they rank. This is way off topic. You know how they rank restaurants with Michelin stars. Then there's the Michelin Tire Company. I didn't realize until today that that's the same thing, and it's just the tire company being like, "Hey, we prefer these restaurants," and we just go by that. So I don't know. And then I saw in the comments, people are going to be shocked when they look up Guinness World Records. I haven't done that yet, but if that's the same as Guinness, I remember I talked about this like not too long ago too. If that's the same thing,
Colton's face is the best part because yes, that is 100% true.
Did not know any of this information.
Yes.
Michelin tires hand out Michelin stars.
You didn't know this?
Hey, you buy our tires to drive to these places we recommend to eat.
That's incredible.
Holy shit, that's a perfect idea.
There's no way in hell.
I looked it up. I thought it was fake.
There's no way in hell.
I gotta look this up. And I looked it up and it was real, and I was shocked, bro. Shocked. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. I really thought you couldn't believe stuff on the internet, and I don't know what to think now.
I thought I read on the internet that Taylor Swift's a fish.
Well, Zuckerberg's a lizard, right?
Yeah, Zuckerberg's a lizard.
So,
well, you know he's a robot.
a robot
No,
too.
you missed
Robot
that. That's
lizard.
the wrong one. He's a robot.
Okay.
He sips water weird. He's a robot.
Yeah. No. This is okay. Yeah, way off topic.
As we speak right now.
I really want to know about the Guinness World Record thing. I just want to make sure that's not also
Oh, I might
completely
leave
fumbling me as well.
because if it's actually Guinness beer,
Yeah, if
Or
they're
the
the
other
same
way
company,
around.
I swear to God.
There's no way. I wouldn't buy it. Let me talk about the injury update while you guys do a quick Google search and figure out, what you find on the internet is half true and half false at this rate. Isaiah Pacheco didn't practice today due to a toe injury, but he's expected to play on Sunday. People say he runs like he's biting people. A reporter asked him that, and he laughed about it. So that was good. Comedic humor there. Mark Andrews practiced in full today, and he's expected to be activated off of injured reserve following his ankle injury that he suffered week 11 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Frank Ragnow, the Lions center, suffered a knee sprain and an ankle sprain. He's expected to play. He's saying until the wheels fall off, he will be playing. And Deebo Samuel, 50-50 chance of playing against the Detroit Lions due to a shoulder injury. Whoever owns the white sedan, you left your lights on. As Jake's, trying to lock his car.
Was that you? No. Oh, it wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Here you go. Here you go, Colton.
Is there another one? What the heck is that?
Say what, Josh? I'm very
Come on,
confused.
son. We're gonna play flag football.
I'm very confused like a father in this. I feel like I look very, very similar to the man to my this way, that way.
What's going on?
The guy to my left. The guy to my left. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, it's too funny.
I might have to make that a TikTok about the Michelin thing because that's honestly like the most surprising thing in the world.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's definitely going to get some traction. You're going to have a bunch of people Googling that. It's going to be the most Googled thing if that gets popping on that.
Number one, where's Taylor Swift sitting at M&T Bank Stadium? 2, is Michelin really giving out tires and food ratings?
So this just in.
Breaking
I look
news.
like I'm down my facial hair. This is crazy. This is wild.
Breaking news.
This is wild.
It's just in. Guinness World Records was started by the beer company. No longer owned by the beer company. That changed in 2001. But it is called the Guinness World Records because of the Guinness Beer Company that started it. So
My life's a lie.
everything you've known
is a lie.
has now been blown up
What?
and is just.
My life's a lie.
I don't.
I hate you guys had lightning in the bottle of the first one. You don't have to try this one. You don't have to try.
I'm still shocked. I don't.
I wonder if Staples tells Staples.
Please, can we get that?
The,
Get
the joke
the
and
train back on the track, please. That's all I ask.
Alrighty, so since the last 2 weeks, we've been doing a nice little memory lane show and tell. That's what it's called. We're presenting to the class of what we found on the internet.
Well, it's like a. It's
True.
like a.
Wait, what you find on the internet's true, correct? Correct, yeah. So we're
Apparently,
doing a little show and tell project here. And this week, we're going to be going over, favorite conference championship memories, moments, whatnot from over the past couple of years. I forgot what order we were going in. I think I was trying to start out with Colton last week, but he choked under the pressure, and we had to high five it off to Jake. So Jake, I guess we'll start with you. Yeah, we're gonna go in the circle here. So we'll start with you, me, Dom, and then Colton. So
sure.
let me I'll just speak till I do this. Hold on, let me clear these off, and there you go.
here we go.
Here we go.
Sorry, the Eagles one start. First, the just easy, quick one to get out of the way. The Brian Dawkins algae crumpler hit, just setting the tone for the Super Bowl for my childhood. All before, the guy over here cheated it away from me.
That was 05 or 04, 05.
Yeah. But the real one I want to do is a week after the Minnesota Miracle, when they're flying high on this amazing last-second win just to roll into Philadelphia, talk a lot of smack beforehand, and then just get absolutely stomped for an entire game from start to finish. And then it was dubbed the Minnesota Massacre because of how bad it was. And then everybody said how mean we were.
And that's after they put the jersey on.
Yeah, because there was a whole thing that led up to that. It was doing the dressing up Rocky and talking a lot of smack from their news called us gang members for an entire week, and said, but then they're also flying private charter jets, saying they're going to take over the stadium. And they do that stuff from the Rocky statue, and then they just got cursed at for a few hours, and they're like, they're so mean. Yeah. So when that was the game where you saw the pregame and they're playing Dreams and Nightmares, and you just knew game was over. Game was over in pregame.
Those are going to be fun to put together, actually.
Yeah, Dom's just gonna make a 10-minute compilation of "Go Birds."
That game. It's that game.
It is that game.
It's that game.
Go Birds.
We could try to find news footage of the Rocky statue too. To just.
Well, I mean, we can't post them on YouTube, so everyone has to use Microsoft Paint and draw everything. Okay. I'm not saying make 10,000 frames and make it into one. We just gotta use Microsoft Paint and do that.
What?
4th and John or E-Rock.
Oh, yeah,
They'll
yeah.
have it.
Okay. Yeah.
All the stuff from the lead up. If it's if you scroll back that far.
Yeah. I can find it. Definitely. I'll search.
All right.
They'll
I
have
guess
the
I could go.
news too. The news stations too.
Yeah. I think we got to put that in there. Go for it, William.
All right, let me go for it. Good thing I was about to click, and I knew you were going to click. Let me just talk about what happened 13 years ago yesterday. Colton, I still hate you. Big Ben found Antonio Brown on 3rd and 8. Steelers advance to the AFC Championship game, and the infamous Rex Ryan taking his headset off and slamming it onto the ground will forever be in my dreams for the rest of my life, because I don't think the Jets will ever make the playoffs. I'm just convinced.
Oh, man!
What is it the CTE podcast they're making?
Yeah, Chandler Jones and AB, baby.
No, CTE is not real, but it's also the CTE podcast.
That's not an actual thing, is it?
Yeah, no, you go on Twitter. You just go look at Antonio Brown's Twitter page.
My
I
God.
got I have one memory. Okay, we got to go back to 2008, and I'm going to apologize to you, Jake. Okay, the greatest playoff receiver to ever play the game, Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Legend does it again.
I'm sorry, Jake, but there's no receiver that is better in the playoffs than Larry Fitzgerald. Imagine if he was on like the Patriots or something that was in the playoffs every year. This guy would have 10,000 yards alone in the postseason. But hey, 3 touchdowns, 9 catches, 151 yards, I want to say. Really impressive against the Eagles, and then they locked the Cardinals' very first trip to the Super Bowl for a team that's been around since the 1800s, the late 1800s. So yeah, that's one of my moments from the postseason that I remember.
Nice.
What's the Moose doing?
I got to follow this one up because I'm also saying in 2008, man. I'm going with the old-fashioned rivalry game, Pittsburgh Steelers taking down the Baltimore Ravens in an old-fashioned beat-down, heavy hits, capped off with a defensive play by the future Hall of Famer he's in already now, Troy Polamalu, ending the game on Joe Flacco. I mean, one of my great memories. I had to bounce it back of 2008 there for Will. And again, I wasn't around for it, but clearly the best championship game of all time. Niners Cowboys. Come on, boys. Come on. Dallas Cardinals.
I have to agree.
Is it a memory if you weren't alive?
I was not alive.
It's a YouTube highlight.
It is indeed. There's top. I think what it ended up on the all-time.
Could you believe if you found that on the internet? Could that result actually happen?
Right? Is that where we had it? Top 3 play all time. I think it finished.
I think so.
I gotta just say one thing, Colton. So you're saying the hit that Ryan Clark put on Willis McGahee that knocked both of them out?
Willis McGahee.
That wasn't the play that solidified the Steelers' win.
No. It's a game sealing INT. That's what sealed the game. Oh, by the way, only 1 touchdown in that game. Only 1 offensive touchdown in that game. San Antonio
it was Big Ben to like Heath Miller or something.
65 yards.
Who was it to? Heath Miller?
San Antonio Holmes.
Well, you should have known that.
Future Jet. Jet. San Antonio Holmes.
Jets legend.
I think Will sent us Antonio Holmes highlight 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, last week.
Last week?
Corner of the end zone and Brady's corner.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Again, we'll have Super Bowl next week, so I don't want to spoil it.
But no, we'll have Pro Bowl next week and then Super Bowl. Everyone's Pro Bowl.
I hate you.
It's going to be Sean Taylor knocking out the punter.
If there's no, we're not even doing this. The Pro Bowl should not be a thing. We're not doing top plays, anything from the Pro Bowl. Stop. I'm going to put down on that nonsense right now. And we'll say best for last to the man upstairs. What do you got for me?
I don't know about best for last, but definitely last. Thank you, Bill. I have 2. We've been apparently really going towards the Ravens here, which is fitting because here we are, Ravens, Kansas City. But this was 2013 AFC Championship. It was right? Yeah. The Ravens and the Patriots. What I remember, because this is a year after the Patriots beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship by 3 points, the Billy Cundiff year. A year later, again, both teams, but this time the Ravens win, I think, 28-13. And I just remember that Torrey Smith play at the sideline by the goal line. And I remember him I remember the still picture the most. I remember it live watching it, but I remember the still picture the most that you could definitely find. It might be the first picture on the internet when you look up Torrey Smith. I don't know. But it's him kind of like falling / diving out of bounds and then reaching back, and he just has a Patriots face mask just fully in his hand like that. And it's just, I just remember that vividly. And then the Ravens beat us, and there strengthened my hatred and the rivalry with the Ravens. But nonetheless, that picture right there, Jake found it. Probably took no time at all. My second one, no, was it like the first one, first two, first three?
I like 10.
Oh, wow. Jeez, I'm surprised. My second one is, what year was that?
Also, before you start, Torrey Smith, also flea flicker, touchdown.
Yeah.
And the game I talked about.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What year am I looking at? 2018 AFC Championship. That was Blake Bortles' year. I know you know that, Will. It was the Patriots again and the Jags with that magical Jags run. But didn't matter. I remember vividly, and I remember watching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was one of the most athletic plays I've ever seen. And that was Stephon Gilmore's to seal the game, knock the ball in the air on defense. And that was just, that play was wild. I mean, I didn't see that coming, because if he didn't make that incredible athletic play, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if that got to the receiver. So that was what I remember very well, to seal that game for the Patriots and then to lose the Super Bowl. But right.
You really didn't have that Chiefs game, did you? I'm very surprised you didn't have that Chiefs game.
What, the Frank Clark game? Or was it Frank Clark?
Yeah, he got flicked in. Brady got flicked in the head, roughing the passer.
D. Gordon.
D Ford.
D. Ford.
The D Ford one?
Yes.
Where he jumped out of or offsides or whatever? Or lined up offside?
No. Brady got hit in the head with an arm because they're trying to sack him.
On the face.
Yeah.
Touched on the top of the helmet with a hand. And
Was that the same game though?
yes.
Yeah,
it was. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
I gotta just add to yours, Dom. Miles Jack was not down when he stripped the ball on that play. On that flea
dude, I
flicker
don't even remember that.
Yeah, there was a lot of Patriots effery going afoot in that game.
Don't even remember that, to be
We were
honest.
cheated out of Blake Bortles and Nick Foles. That would have been the highest rated Super Bowl of all time. I actually came up with one other game that I remember from the conference title game.
What's that?
Segment. I'm going to go back full screen here.
Yeah, do it.
We got to go back to the Patriots being 18-0. But before they went 18-0, no, we have to go back to the week before, where the Chargers traveled to Indianapolis, where Phillip Rivers suffered a knee injury, but no one really knew what the knee injury was. 6 days after tearing his ACL, having surgery, he goes out on the field, and I mean, it wasn't the best performance by Phillip Rivers, but he did put up a game for the Chargers in a losing effort, though, to the New England Patriots. But yes, the grit of Phillip Rivers putting up, I think, at least a touchdown. They had a lead for at some point, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I don't know, man. We just got to honor Phillip Rivers as much as we can during the playoffs, because, you know, the Chargers just never really had it. But yeah, go Phil.
I'm really surprised.
I think Will's the biggest Phillip Rivers supporter ever.
No. That idiot over there. That man will that man lives and breathes Phillip Rivers. I don't own a Phillip Rivers jersey. I own a Vincent Jackson jersey.
When we went to the game, I'm pretty sure I wore a Phillip Rivers jersey.
Mine, yeah. Yeah, Colton, I had Phillip Rivers as my quarterback in fantasy for 8 years in a row. Back to back. So he was my team, my everything. So yeah.
He even picked him up in the championship game that he was in last year, because it was Phillip Rivers' last year of eligibility, I think, as a fantasy player.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I'm really surprised no one mentioned Seahawks Niners.
I'm the best corner in the game. You can't stop me.
Wide receiver like Crabtree game.
Sorry ass receiver.
Yeah, that is so
true. Nobody picked that one.
That is so true. I didn't even think of that one either. There's a lot of good championship.
There was also
a moment.
One of the best touchdowns in conference championship history. Come on, BJ Raji against Chicago.
Yeah.
Come on, how can you forget about that? He's just dancing in the end zone. And Jay Cutler just quit on the game. He's just it's lost. I'm just kidding. It was Caleb Henny. I think that's who the quarterback was. Yeah.
Jay Cutler and just quitting.
Yeah, he just quit. Yep. It was the most minor knee injury. He's just I'm out. Just vaporized into his
Can you
next
imagine that
dimension.
2008 Super Bowl with Philip Rivers with an ACL injury? What that would have been like? I have no clue what that would have been like.
The battle of Eli Manning quitting on his team.
Yeah.
The Chargers against
That would have been a cool story. Not gonna lie.
Would have been the Eli Bowl.
Yeah.
wow. Did the Chargers mess up by trading away Philip Rivers? Wow. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Trading away Eli too. You mean? But still.
I mean, hey, no, Eli wanted out of there. Okay,
Yeah. No, that's true.
loser. He's been retired for 4 years. Mr. 500. Ain't no first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's just put that out in the airwaves.
Hall of Famer.
Ain't a first ballot. Favorite games and moments from divisional round weekend. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Was anyone surprised? Was anyone really surprised by the Chiefs? Really? was that a surprise?
No, I saw the snowballs. I was really waiting for you to say something.
Yeah.
The snowball's thrown again.
Mahomes was giving his gloves to a kid in the front row, and they were just chucking them at him.
Yeah, it's
At
not
that
even.
point, they were like
it's-
ice balls.
It's not even just that. I'm trying to remember what play where they threw it to the end zone, what quarter, what receiver.
Like early.
All I see is a snowball. Like when they zoomed in on the play, like, oh yeah, we're just not going to talk about the snowball.
Mecole Hardman fumbling it or something.
No,
In the end zone.
no, it was like a pass to the end zone, and like there was a snowball thrown. I think it hit I forget it was the DB or hit someone below the belt. And I'm sitting there like, what are we doing here? That is a great one. That is a great moment from this weekend at Atlanta. Jason Kelsey jumping at the box at the suite, chugging beers shirtless. Honestly, living his best life. Not retired yet, but honestly, great moment. That is a good moment from the weekend.
That was that was phenomenal.
That's a guy enjoying his retirement as he has officially not retired, but yeah.
Oh, he's not officially saying
And
it.
then,
Oh,
look,
Schefter.
Sure seems like a guy. By the way, shout out to the New Heights podcast, the clip that's going around with him meeting Taylor Swift this weekend for the first time, and he said, "Yeah, as he met his future wife, I was hammered. I don't really care about first impressions. You have a bar, you set it really low, and that's kind of what it is." And he's jumping out the booth, shirtless, chugging beer. So shout out to Jason Kelsey on that. That man's living.
And he's picking up children and taking pictures with them and showing Taylor Swift them. And I mean, that's so cool, bro.
hey, look, you could have one of these with Travis.
Kelsey is the
Look
best.
at it.
It's a great guy. Just a
I do
great.
not love Jason Kelsey.
I don't know if there was I think there was a video that was going around. It was like a fan perspective of him just like outside. And I think Jason's wife was like, "Get your ass back in here."
No, I think it was.
You can see her face in the background of some of like the pictures and
Well,
videos.
I think
In the back.
they're like, oh, that booth is absolutely loaded with like people of like famous people and like people that like mean a lot. I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes' dad was in that, and I think he said, "Yeah, your wife wants you back in here to him." Again, I don't know if that's actually him. That's like what the word going around is. That was Mahomes' dad. Like, yeah, you got to get back in here. See, you see security guard, Allison. I saw Patrick Mahomes' father. That's what I saw. I did not do any research into it. There's no way Patrick Mahomes' dad is telling him to get back in there. There's no way. So I don't believe that for a second.
The whole thing's fantastic, though. What a great moment. I mean, anytime it came up on my social media, any news feed or anything, I watched the whole video every time. I didn't scroll past. I was like, this is just, it gets better and better every time you see it. And every angle that comes out, I'm just all about it. Like there's an angle of someone in the top row of those seats right there against that booth, and they're like 15 feet away, and he's taking a video, and he sees him jump out and everything. It's just like he almost fell when he landed too, because it's just
No,
icy.
he had it the whole way.
He
That boot barely moved.
had it, but it was definitely not the most stable surface. But it was funny. That was so great, man. But yeah, that was a top moment, definitely. And him in the crowd too before the game, just like chugging stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, he
and
was tailgating with everyone. He was just there, just popping beers, just shotgunning them in the parking lot.
It's so great how much he
A
does.
man of the people. He doesn't need that,
Yeah.
like that VIP entrance. It's just
No.
like, nah, I'm general admission. I know where I'm going.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I would have to say one of my favorites is the Lions getting their second playoff win in a row. I mean, They only have 4 over the last however many years. It's been a very long time for them. But yeah, hey, kudos to the Lions.
Kudos to the Lions.
Listen, that city's really gone through a lot. Well, I mean, at least they had the Red Wings for a while. Most
By
successful
the way,
franchise.
after some research, that was indeed Patrick Mahomes Sr. telling him to get back in
Yeah.
there.
Wow. I was just letting you go with it, but no.
Oh God, that's
Very
great.
clearly a dude with a blue security jacket. Like,
That's incredible.
Just buy a vest from like Walmart, neon vest. Just like, hey, you got to get back in there. Bring those airport things that they've used for the planes. They start waving them to wherever they got to go. Let's look into this. Buy, sell, and hold following divisional round weekend. Whoever would want to go first.
You have to buy the Lions. I feel like that's the only buy you could possibly have because, like, if you didn't buy Mahomes yet, you're drunk. Like, I don't know what we're surprised about with him. Like, I don't understand what the surprise is. If he ends up winning some championships, he's going to go down as one of the best. Like, he's got to win 6. You know, like he's very good. He's very good at football. So for me, the buy has to be the Detroit Lions. Like, that's got to be the buy. Shout out to those guys. And as much as it hates me to say, I thought the Texans were the easiest play of the weekend outside the Chiefs. They got blown out by the Ravens. So I got to give a shout out, as much as I'm a Steeler fan, to the Ravens. You got to tip your cap to what they did. They left no doubts in that game where I thought, yeah, this has been a wild ride for the Texans this whole season, and giving them 10 points, yeah, I think they cover this pretty easily. Yeah, no, that bet was gone at halftime. So, yeah, shout out to the Ravens and the Lions.
To back up what you said about Mahomes, okay, I said this before you got in the call and before we did this and whatnot. Mahomes has been to every AFC championship game that he's started during, like every season he started on this team, they've gone to an AFC championship. All right. They've been to the Super Bowl. So this is now 6 years of AFC championship, right? The 5 years previous, he has made it to the Super Bowl 3 of those 5 times. If they make it again, that's going to be 4 of 6 times. I mean, that's just absolutely nuts. That is insane. Like you said, I mean, you can't be surprised by anything he does, of course. And also to back up the Ravens thing as well, because like this is the strongest Ravens Lamar team we have seen. And if last week didn't solidify that, I don't know what did, because he put up 4 touchdowns last week, 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. The defense just said no the whole second half to Texans. I mean, like, that is the strongest performance I think that Lamar and that Ravens team has had. December was nuts for them as well. Like, this is a strong team, and I think Colton said it on here last week. And I know me and him said it this weekend. If they're gonna do it, it's gonna be this year for Lamar. You know, this has to be the year for sure. So, I mean, I feel confident in, you know, that potentially happening. So
I'm going to take a different avenue. They're taking like good players. I'm buying into the fact that the Monday night football playoff games are stupid. Every team that has ever played in one of those and won has lost the next week.
The Rams won the Super Bowl.
did they do that?
Did they do that?
The Rams played Monday Night Football against the number 5 seed Arizona Cardinals. They went on to win the Super Bowl.
Well, see ya.
I still think it's stupid. I still think it's so dumb.
Well, I mean, that's why they have a 4 and a 5 seed played, and then they could just put them in the last game of the.
That's one of the funniest things right there. Will's got the random information. I was gonna go another way. Will's just sitting there in the corner 3, just sitting there waiting, like, oh, hold on, I'm waiting for this next minute. Pass out, bang! That's what that was.
Make it rain.
Bang! That was a Mike Green.
I don't know who played that Monday Night Football game last year.
He was waiting for that. Yo, that is a legit Rams fan knowledge.
Last year was Dallas and last year was
Dallas and Bucks. Yeah. Well, no, because I was watching. It was like top Peyton and Eli moments from their thing, and then they showed the Rams and the Cardinals thing because Peyton was like, I can't hear shit, And then Eli's like, okay, we're gonna be going to this guy.
Right.
I'm gonna buy into two teams despite them losing. I'm gonna buy into the Green Bay Packers and the Buccaneers as long-term buys.
Ooh.
They're in good hands. I think they're in good hands because here the Packers and the Bucks get a lot of money next year because
I can hear you on the Packers. The Bucks, they got a lot of free agents,
Hey.
man. But you had me. I was like, yeah, that's a good buy, Will. And then you plummeted me.
know how
I'll let you go. I'll let you tell me why. I love the Packers.
They're getting a lot of money freed up because the Bucks lost, money because Brady retired. Jensen, the center, had to retire because of his knee injury that he suffered. I think those are the only two, and then they had to go through, other kind of cost-cutting effects that they had to end up going through too. And the Packers, they're freed of Aaron Rodgers' money. They get $40 million now added to their cap.
Wow.
So they don't have to worry about, Rodgers anymore. I mean, Jaheir Alexander posting today on Instagram, he thanked the Packers for 6 great years. He can't wait for the future. So that's also a questionable thing we'll be looking at, come March and time around there. But I'm going to buy into I thought you lit yourself on fire or something. It was just really braille.
I'm trying something. I thought putting the Joey
That
Porter
wasn't so
Jr.
bad.
I'm trying to put the Joey Porter Jr. back there, hoping that would stop the whiteout, but it just happened.
But yeah, I'm going to buy into the Packers and the Buccaneers as long-term buys.
See,
I have a time with that.
again, you got me on the Packers. Cool, got it.
Hey,
The
The
Packers were the better football team for 57 minutes of that game.
The Bucks scare me though because again they do have a lot of money. You have Baker, and if they're linked with Baker, Baker's gonna be looking for a contract. He's gonna say, "Look what I did for you guys." And you got Mike Evans is now a free agent.
I talked
You
about
wanna
this
bring
too.
Mike
I
Evans
think Baker Mayfield can get $36 million a year.
and that takes a lot of money out of the picture.
Yeah, and then they still have a lot of money too that they can re-sign Mike Evans, who is going to want
so they're gonna
bunch of money.
look like the same team again. That's cool. That's possible playoff team. But if we're talking about the Falcons getting Belichick and Kirk Cousins, they're not making the playoffs next year. They just snuck in because the division sucks. They're not winning it next year. You had me with the Packers. You had me. If you just stopped the Packers, I loved your buy. That's like one of those out of left field buys. The Bucks one, you lost me. Is anyone else with me? Like
Todd Bowles being the coach. Todd Bowles being the coach is where it stops me. And by the way, we haven't talked about it. What the heck happened at the end of that game? And Todd Bowles not using that timeout by saying, "Oh, they would have just kicked this really long field goal." By the way, they would have just kicked the field goal and we still would have lost. What the hell mentality is that, bro?
And the kicker's percentage isn't that great from distance.
What mentality is that? Why are you a head coach in the NFL then? Like, I'm sorry, but you don't have my buy-in for a single week ever if that's your mentality. What is that, dude? And he was already a questionable head coach anyway, and I felt like his only path from this past season was getting fired. And yeah, cool, good for him. They made playoffs, like Colton said, only because they were in a bad division. Cool. But I can't get behind that team with Todd Bowles as the head coach for a future of saying, yeah, I'm so bought in on Tampa Bay. I can't.
I'll give you another shot. If you want to put them as a whole.
Listen here, we only gave the Buccaneers 8 minutes. I hope next year, whenever we talk about them, we could give them 15 minutes, maybe a little more respect.
They're probably still going to get 8 minutes if Kirk Cousins and
8 minutes now.
We're gonna give the Falcons the same amount of time they got last year if they get Kirk.
I'm gonna lock it in though. But hey, the Packers are in good hands with Aaron Rodgers Jr. But Brett Favre Jr. with that pass to Dre Greenlaw, that was yeah.
That was a young kid mistake. That's a learning mistake. You're gonna know better for next time when he's in that moment.
Those Green Bay receivers need to catch more. Because I was really
young.
It's not even their fault too. Like it's downpouring there. They're like the rain's like coming down.
If it hits both your hands, though, we can't be having like 8 drops a game.
Right? They're a young team. That's honestly out of all this, you're gonna again, Will out of left field. You're thinking all the buys are gonna be like the playoff teams that advance. What are you buying off of them? That's a great buy from Will. That's a great buy. He had me. I was like, hell yeah, Will, I'm getting behind this. I love this. And then he threw the fastball down Broadway that Aaron Judge just hit 500 feet with the Buccaneers. What are we doing? You had it. You had it, Will. You had the home run by best buy of everyone, and you choked it away by putting the Buccaneers in that bye. And
This conversation,
I had to cook you, and the man above me had to cook you with Todd Bowles. You had it, Will. You had the home run, and the Jet side of you stepped in and said, "I like Todd Bowles." And
I never said I like Todd Bowles. See, now you're putting words in my mouth. Okay, listen,
the Bucks.
anyone
Todd
that
Bowles
leaves
comes
the
with the
Jets,
Bucks.
I hope they
Sorry.
can find success. Whenever a person or a coach leaves the Jets, I hope they find success so the Jets kick themselves in the ass. Okay, I never once said I like Todd Bowles. I hope he finds success, and I hope the Jets kick themselves in the ass.
He's had more success with the Bucks than.
I hope, like, if we've learned anything from this year, the time we've spent in this conversation we have just had, Green Bay is going 2-15 next year, and Tampa.
No. We were contemplating that the season's going to rely on that first game, and we got ridiculed that we don't know what we're talking about. This guy, I don't know, this guy with a flaming hot take in the comments of that video was like, "You guys don't know what you're talking about. We're the Packers." When I was 3-6, I was going to be like, "Yeah, buddy, you want to talk about this again?"
It's true.
He got us, man. He got us. There, I can't believe they're in such good hands. Like, cause there's like a bunch of moments this where like I saw him against the Steelers. That's kind of like where I was like, he looked very good against Pittsburgh. He made some throws. I'm like, that's elite quality stuff, balls right there. And then I'm watching him throughout the season, and I watch him in the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, this kid's actually good. So, and if he weren't off that interception, they're in a very good spot, and I don't think Green Bay is going to be disappearing where I thought they were going to kind of disappear a little bit, and it's going to be Detroit for the next 6-7 years. I think you have a great NFC North battle here with the Packers and the Lions going forward, and we'll see what Chicago does. They're in a very good spot if they can take Marvin Harrison Jr. If they trade back a little bit, get more draft capital and get Marvin Harrison to keep Fields, or they say F it and they take a whole new quarterback, and that could end up hitting. The NFC North is going to be very, very fun to watch. And then there's Minnesota. Yeah.
I think Minnesota relies on Kirk Cousins, whatever happens with him. That could go from here's like a double-digit win team to a 5-win team.
Very fast, yes. And then you could possibly have Jefferson wanting out. So that could be a very interesting thing in Minnesota, what they do at quarterback.
Matt LaFleur is also like the 5th longest tenured head coach in the league right now, by the way.
He's a good coach?
Yeah, I didn't think he was.
He's only been there for
kind of not 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
That tells you what the NFL does with coaches.
Tomlin's the longest tenured right now.
He sure is.
Yeah.
What about Sell, guys? We talked about this way too much. What about Sells? And
I'm going to sell on my lover boy and Josh Allen. I got to sell on Josh Allen. This was the year. This was the year for him, and they blew it. So the conversation going into this week was, it is it for Baltimore and it is it for Buffalo. Baltimore took care of business. They are now one step closer to it. Buffalo, Josh Allen money's not going to hit. You're going to have Instagram Diva Boy going on social media, deleting all of his Bills crap, and Stephon Diggs. My God, catch the football. That was one of the best throws I've ever seen in my life from Josh Allen. He threw that thing 80 yards on a rope, and you drop it, yet you yip-yap all over the place. Eat my short, Stephon Diggs, and it's the Buffalo Bills I am selling on.
The whole Bills, yeah, I'm sold on the whole Bills. I think that's really the only team that you can sell on from that playoffs, because every team otherwise learned a lot and gained a lot from this playoff so far, I think, from this past weekend at least. But the Bills are just, you're losing way too much, and losing this game was way too big of a loss. Like the whole thing, all the way around.
This whole season for me was like the funeral for the Bills.
Yeah.
Watching the playoff game where him or Diva Boy and Josh Allen were fighting the whole game, like you walked in the season like, I've seen this movie before. This is their funeral, because Josh Allen is not fixable with the turnovers.
No, I don't think he is.
He's not. He's like I've said multiple times, he's Carson Wentz with better branding.
No, I don't think he can.
Did he turn the ball over, by the way, in this game? I'm trying to remember.
No.
He played a clean game, man.
So look, you do all these things, and then it comes down to it, and it's just Why couldn't he, if he's so amazing, will his team like Lamar Jackson did?
You can only, I mean, this is what sucks. I like defending the guy, and this is why I'm going to do it again.
Then Lamar does.
He did it against the Chiefs. He did it. He scored. You think after the Tyreek Hill touchdown in that divisional round game, holy smokes, they're going to lose the game. Yet he goes down the field, leaves 13 seconds, and you had the best defense that season. They were number one defense, and you lose the game. That is not on Josh Allen. It's not. It's either A, the Bills are cursed, Sean McDermott's got to go. Like, it's what it is. What is he supposed to do? You go on the road, and you put up 4 touchdowns to Gabe Davis and on the road divisional round to take the lead with 13 seconds left. 13, and you somehow allow them to tie the game with the number one defense. That's not on him. Then he plays decent against the Chiefs again this weekend, and the Chiefs defense is even better. This is probably the best Chiefs defense we've seen under the Mahomes era. And they still lose the game. And I'm sorry, it doesn't turn the ball over. I don't get Buffalo. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
If you're Buffalo, and again, I think Dom said it best. I know we're on Buffalo here for a little bit. This is the only sell. This is the only sell out of all the teams this weekend. This is the only sell. You can't sell Houston. What they did, incredible. What the Packers done, incredible. The Bucs did more with less. Like, you cannot sell on anything outside of Buffalo. And if I'm Buffalo, you have to have a real look in the mirror, and you got to can McDermott. It's one of those, cool, he hasn't lost. He hasn't, like, what they did. They were dead in the dirt. They come back, win the division. Cool. Miami was beat the crap, and everyone called them frauds all season. So what are you surprised about if they came back and won the division? It's time with Sean McDermott. It's time. I'm sorry. You couldn't get it done in the postseason. I need some experience in the building. I'm trying to see if I can throw my hat in the hardball ring, because guess what? Yes, Justin Herbert's the attraction for him to go there. He likes the kind of Michigan-type feel, and that's Buffalo. Passionate fan base, cold weather football. Bring him to Buffalo. See if you could throw your hat in the ring late and try to get him to Buffalo. Try to get Harbaugh, get a Vrabel. Hell, see if you can get Belichick. You need something there because McDermott ain't it. If they bring him back, it's the same song and dance. I'm sorry. I know we talked a lot about this, and I jumped in late on this. I'm sorry I cut you two off on it. This has to be the only sell of the weekend. This is it.
I think.
I
Also,
have to follow up with the Bills on a sell, but I also have a different sell too. I'm selling off on that iPhone commercial. I think it's the most annoying commercial out there too. So, yeah.
I don't know which commercial.
It's the outlet singing. And then it's just like, oh, hey, Apple. Oh, you could have longer duration with your phone.
I hate that commercial, bro.
Yeah.
That commercial.
Well, you have 100% phone battery for 2 months, and it's like, nah, your phone can only hold up 66 battery percentage. I feel like
until they update it once.
Yeah. Also, Sean McDermott, 4th longest tenured head coach in the league. Just saying.
No, but Josh Allen loves him. Josh Allen loves him.
What about holds? What are we wanting to hold on here? Can I go first?
Sure.
I'm going to hold on to the Houston Texans because now they have a first place schedule, and I'm not a big fan of who they have to play, especially on the road. I think it's going to be very tough for them. Here, their home opponents include the Ravens, who, it will be a great rematch, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Bears, we'll see what happens, the Lions, then, they play the AFC South. And then their road opponents include Dallas, Green Bay, Minnesota, Kansas City, the Jets, the Patriots, and then, the rest of the AFC South. I'm not completely so I like what they did this year, but I mean, that's a big jump from where they were, dead in the water, last place, beat a couple people around. Now they got to go ahead and, face legitimate contenders in respective conferences next year.
They might be able to be the only holdout of this weekend too, as well, to be honest, because I feel like we're all pretty bought in on Green Bay. I feel like, I don't know, but maybe Tampa Bay. I don't.
Kind of wanted to sell in Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll spend 8 minutes talking about it in the offseason. It's okay.
Yeah, probably, the end of July or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
every time I try to make these division previews that we do, I always try to go by wins by like least to most, and the NFC South's always the first one with the least. I'm like, I can't start with this shit. I have to start with something a little more oomph to it.
well, it could get some oomph, by the time we do if they get Belichick and Kirk Cousins. But for me, my hold, again, Texans, I feel like is the obvious one. I'm gonna hold on the Bucks. I want to see what they do with the money that Will's talking about. And that's kind of that. I kind of went on my rant on the Bucks before. That's my hold. I want to see what they do with the money, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the Bucks.
So the Buccaneers are going to have $47 million next season. That's before any restructures and whatnot.
Also, Godwin money, maybe. No,
Well, Godwin's still under contract.
Evans money, maybe, and Baker money, maybe, right? So.
See? Yeah, again, I don't think they re-sign Evans. They better
there's 11
They need to
teams.
tag and trade him is what they need to do because they're going to get nothing in return for him. Guess what? Guess who's going to throw their ring in that hat? Yo, Mike Evans, come play with Rodgers, and I don't have to trade anything like if the Jets want to go get Devontae Adams.
That's what I think, bro.
Mahomes. That's where I thought you were going with that.
I think
Mahomes
Mahomes go to the AFC though. I think the Chiefs might be the obvious one. If they have a very bad game by the receivers on Sunday, yeah, they're gonna go out and acquire Mike Evans. There's 11 teams right now that is over the salary cap. The Saints being $83 million over because that's just what the Saints do. Followed by the Dolphins with 51, the Bills at 50, Chargers at 45. The Broncos are already at 23 before they try to can Wilson. Cowboys are at 19, Browns are at 19, Steelers are at 15, Seahawks are at 4, Niners are just around 3 million, and the Packers are hovering at 3 million right now. Yeah. A lot of teams. But let's go into the conference championship preview. 2 teams, the final 4 of the madness is here, and I'm kind of sad that football season's coming to an end. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's been a very fun journey since July, just getting to talk about football and just all that whatnot, all that hoopla. But yeah, we're down to the final 4 here. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. Last time these 2 teams played was back in 2021. The Ravens held a comeback victory where we saw Lamar Jackson do his little flip into the end zone there, securing the win for the Baltimore Ravens way back in the day. Mahomes' second playoff game on the road, to be exact, happening now this week. T-Swizzle, is she going to show up in Baltimore? Who knows whatever's going to be happening there. But yes, apparently I'm not allowed to pick, and Dom's not allowed to pick this game. It can only be Jake and Cole.
No, we'll pick. We just won't count towards the points of.
Yeah, because you guys screwed up and put your faith in the Bills.
Yeah, it was silly.
But let's start out with the people that are allowed to pick the game here. I'll get something out of it.
I'm gonna give it to my friend first to go first here, Jake.
Oh man, I'm just gonna.
None of us wrote this down, right? No, not really. No. Kind of.
I'm the only one who actually wrote it down because
I see it.
I'm actually going straight off of the Super Bowl logo.
Wow, I'm just going Ravens. Wow,
I'm going Ravens and I'm going Niners. It's no secret.
So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I gotta see Lamar do it. So I gotta see him do it. It's gonna be a very, very elite defense who's going against this weekend, and pressure's on. He's gotta hear the noise. He's gotta do it. And I'm going with the Chiefs. I just been there, done that. I know what I'm getting from 15. So give me the Chiefs. I hate to say it, but that's just where I'm going.
I'm going to go Baltimore because, like I said earlier, I think if they're going to do it, it's going to be this year. I really like how strong of a team they are. I really like how they have genuinely put it together December and this past weekend and didn't waver really at all. Like, Lamar is doing the best job that he could do right now, period. And I think
he did it without his favorite target, and he should get him back. He practiced in full all last week. He should be back this weekend. That's big 89, Mr. Boomer Sooner. Back.
I don't even think matters, to be honest, because Likely does a great job. Better. Yeah, I almost think Isaiah Likely's better.
That's great. That's a what? See, you guys have been spoiled by Mark Andrews. That's a wild take.
He's been explosive as hell, and they've been using him. It's been working.
I know he's very good. I just think that's a wild take. Mark Andrews has been like the second best tight end behind Travis Kelce. Let's be serious.
That's a wild take.
I think
he's the second best tight end. I don't know how that's a wild take. He's the second best tight end behind Travis Kelce.
I think though, Lamar. I think I'm actually going to put faith in that in the defense and so I'm going Baltimore.
William,
I'm gonna go Kansas City here.
Nice.
Even though my opinion doesn't matter, I'm not gonna elaborate anymore. So my opinion will matter for this game, though, at least. Okay. The Detroit Lions at the San Francisco 49ers. During this tenure of Dan Campbell, he's only played the Niners once. It was his very first game of 2021, where we saw the emergence of Deebo Samuel exploding onto the scene as one of these gadget players. I think the Niners just barely won that game, too. I think the Lions may have had a comeback. I'm not 100% sure. So if anyone wants to quote me on that, they can. But yes, that was the last time that they played. And the last time the Detroit Lions won a road playoff game, okay? You go back 66 years to when they won in San Francisco en route to their last NFL championship in 1957.
Are we doing this moon stuff again?
Bro, it's getting true like every time though. I don't know.
I mean, listen, if they want to come out about the moon, I mean, hey, let that be true. But yes, the last time the Lions won a playoff game on the road came in San Francisco, and they went on to become NFL champions. So let's just put that out in the air there.
The writing is on the wall. I'm taking the Lions.
Lightning strike. Can lightning strike?
I got no read. No, there's nothing behind it other than I think the writing is on the wall. Not saying that it's accurate, just saying it's on the wall, and I'm going to go with that. And I'm taking the Lions for the fun of it. I don't even know if it's educationally correct or if it's like an educational guess, like a whatever. I'm not just taking the Lions. I'm not putting any thought behind it. I'm happy with it, and that's that.
Sure, if you want to do that.
I'm doing it.
I mean, I love the Detroit trade as much as anybody else, but they're running up against the buzzsaw.
Oh, they are. But I'm about it.
This is the buzzsaw. All those first-round picks right on the D-line that are just waiting to see a possibly hurt Detroit O-line. And statue Jared Goff.
Colton, what's going on here, Colton?
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners. I think they're just pretty much what Jake just said. They're great. I love the Detroit story. Trust me, I'm pulling for them. I want them to do it. They're running into a buzzsaw this weekend.
I'm gonna match Dom here. I have nothing to lose with Dom, so I'm just gonna pick Detroit. Why not? I'll jump on the Detroit train.
Where you were going with yours? I thought you actually said it already.
No, I try to preview these.
You guys are really gonna let me win the postseason too? You're gonna be the last perfect bracket going into this thing? That's crazy.
How much is the Super Bowl points worth?
They're going to be 8. So what? You want 8 points for the team to win, 8 points for the score, 8 points for MVP? Really make it just worthwhile.
I thought you were doing points this week. That way we got tiebreakers for a point each.
Listen. I don't think these rules are even like established that far.
Are absolutely
of course they're not. Of course they're not. That's crazy. Of course they're not. The guy that's not in it. Of course.
Listen, I got told this. It was like, oh, hey, we're gonna.
We'll play with me for first.
You want to split?
The guy that's out of it. Wow. Of course, I would have thought. No. Wow.
Dom and I are gonna combine our points. We're gonna be one big conglomerate of 20 points here.
We're gonna be like in an arcade when we combine our tickets and we get a bigger prize. That'll be it.
We're gonna be the powerhouse no one expected to be here.
Do you want to say scores for the F of it or what?
I thought that was the Super Bowl. We do scores and all that stuff.
I mean, I don't know. It's up to you guys. I don't care either way.
I don't know. They're tied. I mean, they could just go to the Super Bowl and whatnot. I mean, no. Jake
tied.
Will still have.
Jake broken this weekend. Broken.
Jake will still be ahead by 2 because they both picked the same one. So I mean, you gotta go to the Super Bowl and make the picks there.
Kansas City and Baltimore, they pick different.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm going to the Super Bowl, boys. I'm going to be dancing on everyone again. Regular season and postseason. Gosh, give me my trophy. Please. Here it is. You can just put the graphic here, along with all rookie cornerback Joey Porter Jr. Had to represent the fella here. All rookie corner Joey Porter Jr. Thank you. I will take my award, and I will see you guys
And Dom, you look at the same score as I am?
The 2 points difference. I mean, really, whoever wins that Kansas City Baltimore game, that's huge. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then they won't be able to. They'll have to pick their team regardless.
wait, does that mean Will? I'm not even gonna complicate it anymore.
No.
I'm
Go
not-
ahead. Go for it,
I'm-
kid.
no, I'm gonna tank again. Okay, that's all I have to care about.
What are you taking for it? Better.
Better picking spot, I guess. I don't know. But that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our show. You can follow us on all the social medias down below on the scrolling ticker down there. Yeah, you can listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify if you want to listen to us again. I mean, who knows? You can follow us on YouTube for the Fan Network. Thank you for like the 7 subscribers that subscribed to us this week. That is a big jump from what we had in the past. TikTok for the Fan Network. That's all Colton there. Twitter and
Having
X for the
accounts?
Fan
I was one of
underscore, and
those
Instagram
subscribers.
for the Fan Football. Yes, I saw you subscribe. I did see you subscribe.
I'm a turkey.
Gobble gobble. Okay, but yes, you can follow us on all these platforms. You can find all of our great content that we put up there each and every week. Any final thoughts though before I hit the end stream button? Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. All righty, I'm gonna just wrap it up here. Thank you all for tuning in. Tune in next week as we'll find out the 2 participants in the Super Bowl. So everyone enjoy and take care. We'll listen to us next week.
Jets suck.
Tom's a turkey.